Part 1. Setup. On February 17, 2026, the Kingsville ISD Board of Trustees held a regular public meeting to discuss student attendance and its connection to district funding. What happened next, inside the meeting room and afterward in a hallway of the KISD administration building, has become a public dispute playing out across Facebook, involving a local parent, district trustees, district security staff, and the Kingsville Police Department. This video walks through what's been publicly documented so far: the district's official trespass notice, the parents' detailed rebuttal to each allegation in that notice, and a rebuttal from another community member pushing back on her account. We are not taking a side. We're laying out what each party has said in their own words, so you can follow the timeline and draw your own conclusions. Part 2. The meeting itself. Ramos's account. According to Elizabeth Ramos, a Kingsville parent who says she has worked with KISD families for roughly 7 years, the board was discussing student attendance figures and their link to state funding. During that discussion, she says trustee Jacob Perez characterized poor attendance as a parent responsibility issue, and that trustee Max Segovia agreed. Ramos says she stood up during the meeting, out of order, which she acknowledges, and said, in her words, that she had asked for help once and wasn't helped, and told the board to stop lying as she was leaving. She maintains she did not yell obscenities, did not run, and was not given an audible verbal warning by anyone with authority to issue one. She specifically disputes that the district's outside legal counsel, identified as Maddox, had any authority to warn her directly, arguing that under board procedure, only the board president, identified as Ruiz, can enforce meeting decorum. Part 3. The district's trespass notice. On March 4, 2026, KISD issued a formal notice of refusal of entry/trespass warning to Ramos, citing Texas Education Code Section 37.105 and Texas Penal Code Section 30.05. The notice lists a series of allegations from that day, including that she interrupted a board presentation outside of public comment, yelled obscenities and accusations at board members, continued disruptive conduct after being warned by legal counsel, ran within the meeting room in an agitated manner, refused to comply with an oral notice of misconduct and directives to exit, attempted to force re-entry after removal, made physical contact with security, and resisted restraint, injured members of security personnel, caused property damage by pulling decorative items from a wall, required law enforcement intervention and caused the board to recess for approximately 30 minutes. The trespass bars her from district property for 1 year. Part 4. Ramos's point-by-point response. Ramos posted a detailed rebuttal to each item in the trespass notice. Here is a summary of her position on the specific claims. On yelling obscenities, she says she raised her voice to be heard but did not use obscene language or make accusations beyond calling Segovia a liar. On the legal counsel's authority to warn her, she reiterates that Maddox is contracted legal help, not a board member, and that any enforcement authority rests with board president Ruiz, who she says never addressed her. On running an agitation, she disputes that she ran and describes the district's video evidence as choppy and unreliable. On refusing to exit and physical contact, she says district security, including a staff member she names as Nicole, blocked her path back toward the meeting room, and that Nicole pushed her to the ground, not the reverse. She says she made no threats and initiated no physical contact. On injuring security personnel, she questions the claim, noting the employee she says was involved returned to work the next day and, to her knowledge, did not file a police injury report. On property damage, she says a piece of student artwork came off the wall during the physical altercation with security, that it was undamaged, and that she picked it up herself afterward. On requiring police intervention and a 30-minute recess, she argues police involvement was unnecessary and that any recess was shorter than the district's stated 30 minutes. Ramos has stated she has filed police complaints alleging official oppression, a specific offense under Texas Penal Code Section 39.03, against Segovia, the security employee she names as Nicole, the superintendent, and board president Ruiz. She also says she filed a separate assault complaint related to the hallway incident. As of this video, no charges or findings tied to those complaints have been publicly confirmed. Part 5. The Legal and Policy Framework. To evaluate these competing claims, it helps to know the actual rules in play. Ramos posted excerpts of several relevant policies and statutes. Texas Education Code, Section 37.105, allows a school administrator, resource officer, or district police officer to refuse entry or eject a person from district property if that person refuses to leave peaceably, and either poses a substantial risk of harm or persists in inappropriate behavior after a verbal warning. District policy on board meetings and public participation states that if an individual disrupts a meeting, the board shall not tolerate it, but only after at least one warning from the presiding officer, at which point law enforcement assistance may be requested. Texas Education Code, Section 37.106, covering disruption of a lawful assembly, defines disruptive activity in specific terms: obstructing exits, seizing control of a building, or using force or threats of force to prevent a lawful assembly from proceeding. The core factual dispute, in other words, comes down to two questions. Was a verbal warning actually given by someone with the authority to give it? And did Ramos's conduct rise to the level the statute requires before removal or trespass is legally justified? Ramos says no warning was given and no such conduct occurred. The district's trespass notice states otherwise. Part 6. The hallway video. Ramos later posted a video she says shows the hallway incident following her removal from the meeting. Her account of that video: security personnel blocked her attempt to re-enter the boardroom, a physical struggle followed, and she ended up on the floor with a security employee on top of her. She says she never physically initiated contact, and that she remained calm while on the ground, eventually helping to pick up items that had fallen during the incident. She states that a district employee she names as Nicole later acknowledged, in a public comment, that the incident was not the result of Ramos tripping, which Ramos frames as confirming her version of events regarding the fall. Part 7. A related incident involving Ramos's husband. Ramos's posts reference a follow-up incident the same evening in which her husband attended the meeting, stood during proceedings, and was subsequently asked to leave by police. This incident is addressed directly in the community rebuttal below. Segment 8. Opposing viewpoint. Rebuttal from Facebook user Dwayne. Not everyone in the community has accepted Ramos's account. A public comment from a user identified as Dwayne offers a pointed counter-narrative, and we're including it here for balance. Dwayne argues that Ramos herself, in comments to police, acknowledged getting upset and potentially being out of line, and that she left the meeting room on her own before the board could formally address her conduct. Under district and state rules, he argues, that self-removal is what gave the district grounds to deny her re-entry, regardless of whether a formal warning was issued afterward. He also raises a question about her husband's presence at the meeting later that same evening. Dwayne notes that KISD Security's body camera footage reportedly shows police already aware Ramos had been removed earlier, and that her husband told police he was asked to leave because someone reported feeling intimidated. Dwayne points out that the husband raised the issue of his ethnicity in that exchange, which Dwayne argues doesn't hold up given Kingsville's demographics, which are majority Hispanic. Dwayne also weighs in on a legal question: whether a trespass warning issued to one person extends to a family member. He notes that, under Texas law, a criminal trespass warning generally applies only to the individual who received it, but that a family member could face legal exposure if they were acting as a proxy for the barred person, or conspiring with them to continue the same disruptive conduct. Finally, Dwayne says that Ramos's own past comments, since deleted from the kooky Kingsville group, argued that requiring her husband to remain seated during the meeting would have violated ADA accommodations. He states that when pressed on that claim, other community members pointed to Ramos's own public posts and photos showing her husband engaged in physical activity, including exercise and driving during a road trip, which he says undercuts that argument. He also alleges that Ramos removed or blocked commenters who challenged her account from the group. Part 9. where things stand. As of this recording, here's what's publicly confirmed and what remains contested. Confirmed. A disruption occurred at the February 17th board meeting. Ramos was removed from the meeting and later issued a 1-year trespass warning by the district. A hallway incident involving district security followed. Police were called. Ramos's husband was separately asked to leave a subsequent meeting and involved police as well. Contested. Whether a valid verbal warning was given before Ramos's removal. Whether she resisted, ran, or made physical contact with staff, or whether staff initiated contact with her. Whether any security personnel were actually injured. Whether the length of the meeting recess was 15 or 30 minutes. Whether the trespass warning was procedurally valid under district policy and state law. Multiple official complaints, from Ramos against district officials and from the district against Ramos, appear to be pending with Kingsville police. As of now, no court ruling or completed investigation has been made public that resolves these competing claims. We'll continue to follow this story as more information, including any additional video, police reports, or district statements, becomes available.